Long, long time ago, in an age of miracles, legends, and under the hot, sprawling sun, there was a kingdom named Egypt, and its king was called the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh was a mighty man, his reach vast, and his visions very far. So mighty was he that he was called God, exalted even amongst men. One day the Pharaoh had a vision, a dream. He saw that one day a man that came from the Bani Israel shall come and destroy his kingdom. The Pharaoh was fearful of this one man, and so he asked his soldiers, ordered them to come and to go to every single Israelite's house and buildings, to search for every single male children and put them to the sword. The soldiers came. They come and they killed every child there is. One of these mothers, a woman named Yocheved, saw these soldiers and hid her child. She then ran far, far away from the Egyptians to the river Niles, and then suddenly God spoke to her. He told her to lay down him in a basket and then cast him down to the river Nile, and so he will be safe. The child then was cast down to the basket and driven to the river Nile. The streams carried him away to none other than the Pharaoh's palace. There, the Pharaoh's wife, Asya, discovered the baby and then begged the Pharaoh to adopt him. He was called Moses, he who was drawn apart, and so he became their son. Moses grew up to become the son of the Pharaoh. But one day, he encountered a fight between an Israelite and an Egyptian, to which he was accidentally killed the Egyptians. Fearful of this, or the punishment that came after, Moses fled from Egypt to the countryside, to which he met a woman named Sahura. She then took him to her father, and he take him under his wing to become a shepherd, and married him to his daughter. Musa was very happy that day. One day, he decided to come back to Egypt, and so he and his wife traveled and trekked down to the prosperous land. One day, in one of their journeys, Musa encountered a flaming tree. He decided to come and check. From the flaming tree he watches and discovered a voice, booming and majestic. The voice called himself God and asked him to go to the Israelites, to go to the Pharaoh and ask him to deliver them unto me and to free them from bondage. And so God gave him two blessings. One, a shining, burning hand that would illuminate all, and a wooden staff. And so Moses came to Egypt and met the Pharaoh. Moses then asked the Pharaoh to release the Bani Israel. The Pharaoh refused, and so Moses cast down his staff, and it became a snake, a humongous snake. But the Pharaoh merely laughed, saying that it was a parlor's trick, a conjurer's illusion. He ordered his magicians to come forth and use their own magics to transform a rope to become a snake. Their ropes then became little snakes, but no matter how deft nor skilled they are, Moses merely cast down his staff once again, and it became a bigger snake than they are. The snake then ate away all the other snakes, and the magicians all are left stunned. Undaunted by this development, the Pharaoh merely asked Moses, "What does he want?" To which Musa then asked him to let go of the Bani Israel from this land. The Pharaoh then denied his request, to which God punished him and the land of Egypt by levying great curses, terrible floods, famine, swarms of locusts, diseases, lice, and many more. But the greatest of all to the Pharaoh was the death of his one and only true-born son. The Pharaoh then saw to Moses and bid him to leave him and his people from Egypt once and for all. Moses then left. He gathered his followers and traveled to the Palestine land. But the Pharaoh, vengeful as he was, he grabbed whatever soldiers that he has and asked them to hunt down the fleeing Israelites and to intercept them before they arrived. When the Israelites saw the rushing soldiers, they quickly ran towards the Red Sea and despaired, for there was nowhere to go, nowhere to leave, nowhere to run. But Moses, ever faithful to God, merely struck down his staff, and the ocean was split open, letting them towards the other land. When the Pharaoh and his soldiers tried to cross the same passage, the water crushes down onto them, drowning them to their death. Moses then quickly rallied his followers and traveled to the promised land of Palestine. There, his people ruled peacefully and prosperous under the rule of God. Thank you very much.